We're here today with our second show of Top Coordination with our incredible guest. We're very lucky to have Billsedison Hong Hao. He's calling from China. It's very late for him, so let's double thank him for his courage to be here this time of the night, of the evening for him. He's been a developer in the community. He's been an MVP member, which for those of you who don't know, is a most valuable member class we have in Topcoder because he collaborates and try to help people solving problems as much as he can. He has been multiple finalists in Topcoder open competitions. He has helped organizing Topcoder regional events in China. I mean, he's everywhere. He's like a pilot. I mean, there are no words to describe the amount of work that this gentleman does with us. And we're very lucky to, I'm very excited to have him in this show and this opportunity to learn about coding. Some doubts I have specifically with the review process in Topcoder and game development. So welcome, man. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much for the Louis warm introduction. Hi, everyone. I'm very glad to be here.
Awesome. Yeah. So just a little reminder of what we're doing here today. We're hosting an AMA with Billsedison, which is what basically we can ask him anything we want. Of course, about Topcoder would be great, about how to improve our skills. And the way this is going to work is that I'm going to explore with him his journey at the beginning, but then there's going to be a dedicated section where I'm going to pose the questions. I'm going to moderate the questions that you guys have for him. And I share a Google form throughout the week, and I collected a few questions, and those are going to be the first one that I'm going to share, and then the questions from the chat that you guys have. So for now, I'm going to have the opportunity to ask him a few questions from my own, just to get to know him a little bit better. And so, yeah, as always, I just want to know how to share us, if you can, your story with Topcoder. How did you find out about Topcoder, and how has been your experience so far?
Well, that's a long time ago. I remember it's in 2009. At that time, I was still a third-year college student, and I want to find some place to practice my algorithm skills. So I found Topcoder, so I participated in the SRM check. But unfortunately, it was too hard for me.
I
and
know.
then, yeah, it's too hard. And yeah, I tried some. I maybe participated in 2 or 3 SRMs, and then I quit.
Been there.
Yeah, but I'm still keeping an eye on the Topcoder, and I found, wow, there's at that time there was a development component challenge and assembly challenge. I found, wow, the price was so attractive. Yeah, I can participate. If I win a challenge, I can win like $600 or $1,000. Well, that's too much for me, especially I was a student at that time. But I found, well, I even cannot read the problem, what the problem is. I don't understand. Yeah. But then I just quit Topcoder, but keep an eye on it. Didn't participate in anything until 2012.
Okay.
And then I tried to participate some Java component development challenge, but I didn't win anything. So I'm just keep trying, and until 2013, I remember it's September, I received my first prize is $400. Well, I was so excited at that time.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, the prize motivated me. So I keep participating in the challenges, and I remember the second challenge I participated, I won the second prize, and the prize was very high. The first prize was $108,000, no,
Wow.
$1,800. But unfortunately, I was the second, so it's $900. It was also very good. And then I won a lot of second placement until 2014. I remember it's March. Yeah, I won my first first prize.
Wow,
so,
man.
Yeah. And then after that, I won a lot of challenges in the first prize.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
so exciting. Yeah.
That's quite a journey, man. I mean, coming from 2009. So basically, we can say that it took you about 2, 3 years to get your first. I mean, since you started competing regularly, it took you about 2 or 3 years to get your first placement prize.
Yeah.
This sparked the question to me. I mean, I know you were getting second places, but what do you think that kept you motivated to stay in the platform, even though you didn't win first prizes for 2 or 3 years? What do you think kept you motivated?
Well, yeah. Actually, in the I mean, I didn't participate anything in the 2 or 3 years, but I just keep an eye on it because I know
Okay.
I don't have the skills to participate
Okay.
in this journey, but I want to learn. So at that time, I'm
Okay.
trying to learn such skills, and then I felt, yeah, I'm ready to participate in the challenge. Then I registered and competed. Unfortunately,
Okay.
I failed, but it's okay because I didn't try for it, or I'm not just for winning the money. And I think yeah, improving my skills is more important because at that time I'm also I'm doing my PhD
Okay.
degree research. Yeah, I was still a student at that time. Then I
Ah,
graduated in the 2015.
yeah. Well, congratulations for that. I mean, that's not an easy
Thank
piece of cake. And
you. Yeah,
so yeah, so maybe we can say that yeah, you were motivated because of the learning process, and you didn't care that much about actual first prizes and this kind of gratifications. And then, if I can ask you, how did you approach learning? I mean, were you like learning your skills through a course or university, or how did you approach that? The learning, the skills that you needed to learn to win challenges.
yeah. Are are mainly from the internet actually.
Mm.
So when for example, at that time I was not that good in Java, but I know some basic Java programming language context. But then I will buy some books and try to
Okay.
yeah, look into it. And then when I participate in the challenge, because I fail, so I will read through all the review comments carefully and see why I lose point in this question and how should I avoid
Okay.
in the next challenge. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the review process helps too with the
Yes,
specific
it's
with the
very
specific
helpful.
knowledge. Yeah. Oh man, that's great. And I think I'm gonna take some notes. I mean, after we talk after the show, to share maybe which books you were reading by then, to share those
Yeah,
with the people
yeah. I
who
think
watch.
I can prepare a book list if you want.
Yeah, that will be awesome, man. Yeah, and talking about there's something that Hong Hao mentioned, which was the reviewing the scorecards for learning for people who wants to learn how to code uh, with Topcoder. This is basically a score sheet where you get the evaluation of the work you did. Uh, I mean, it judges your code objectively by measuring how clean your code is, how good it solves the problem, if it is using modern patterns that solve elegantly the solutions for the client. And do you have any tips about how to read or how to dissect these scorecards when you are learning in Topcoder? Because you receive a page with a bunch of text and numbers. I mean, uh, which way can you profit from it the most? What do you think about it?
Well, I'm not sure if I can give many detailed tips, but yeah, actually, I think it's good to learn from the failure. I believe if for any newcomers when they come to Topcoder, it's very hard for them to win in the first several challenges. But actually, yeah, because you don't win, but you can read the review comments and you can learn. You can download the winning submissions after the challenge is over, and then you can learn why they got higher score and how can I learn from them and how should I prepare for my next challenge. Yeah, I think it's worth it to take time to do this to do this kind of review for yourself. And then I think for the next challenge, your score may be higher and higher, and one day you will win. So I think that's a very good tip.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's like creating your own mentor through the scorecards review, and I think it's a powerful tool too to learn. And among this, also among these lines about something you mentioned about, when you come new here, something you may not win at first. And so I wanted to ask you, what is it that you think, off the top of your head, like what is it that you think that people is doing wrong, that they are not winning challenges when they start? What mistakes,
sorry.
what common mistakes did you see in people when that are not making them to win the challenges?
Well, our common mistakes are usually they might misread the specification or didn't watch the form closely. If there are some requirement override on the forum, so they just focus on his own submission and submit, but the submission didn't meet the requirement. So this is the main failure. And for the second one is about the code style. We have a large section about the best practice and code style and the comments and documentation. These are very important. So I remember in some of my challenges, there was tough, but I win because I write a very good document. I didn't lose any points on these sections. So actually, my code maybe is a similar, the quality or the requirements is similar with the opponents, but because of this, I win, and they didn't win. So yeah, so read the scorecard carefully and see which point you should be focused on, and don't lose point on any questions as you can.
Oh yeah. I guess it's an important part of the submission process. I mean, not just giving the submission and considering it done. It's also judging your submission by the scorecard, right? Like you take the scorecard, yes, and then you judge your own submission. Yeah, that's a great also a great piece of advice. Yeah, and well, a topic that I wanted to discuss with you also is about the lifestyles that, let's say, we freelancers or people who are involved in crowdsourcing can design. Let's say, like, we can basically, let's say, we can design the way we want to live our lives owing to the freedom of schedule that we have. I wanted to ask you, what is it that you cherish the most from your lifestyle of working remotely?
Well, I think I'm not I think I'm not an ideal lifestyle with you because I have a full-time job actually.
I know.
So it looks like I have two jobs, one for my day job and not for maybe a night job or something for Topcoder. Yeah. Of course, I can share my time on the day. So, but I love the Topcoder. I love the community because it's a very good window to broaden my horizontal, to see, to meet all of the friends all over the world. It's impossible if I just stay at my office and work with my colleagues. They are all Chinese. So yeah, it's a thing I cherish the most.
Oh yeah. I get your point. And talking about sharing your time responsibilities, how do you do that? I mean, having a full-time job and also some sort of full-time Topcoder. I mean, I think it requires a lot of time and energy.
Yeah.
How do you cope with that?
It's a multitasking skill. Yeah, I'm always staying in front of two computers. So one for my day, another for the Topcoder. So yeah, always. Every time I will carry my MacBook to my office, and on my office there's a PC. So on my PC, I will do the game development for my day job, but for some tasks, like if I need to compile the game engine, it will take like 10 minutes. So in the 10 minutes, I will switch to my MacBook. Yeah, and do the stuff for Topcoder. And for now, the life is easier for me because I have I have been the management level, so I can dispatch some works to my team members. So my main job is from the programming to the conversation and the task management. It's also the same because in Topcoder I'm at Copilot. So for Copilot, the communication is more than the programming.
More strategy, translating requirements, and making sure overseeing the execution of the projects. Man, but that is quite impressive, man. I mean, I honestly wasn't aware that you use your time so efficiently that way. I mean, it's super challenging. You must have some super crazy organizational skills for handling all of those responsibilities. It's amazing. And
it's hard, but I'm very enjoy this lifestyle.
Yeah, you made me think of a quote of there's a philosopher called Seneca. He says that we waste a lot of time, something along these lines, that life is short and we waste a lot of time, but I'm definitely sure that you're not falling into that category, man. That's very intense. And well, you mentioned something about the coding, the game engine, and this is a topic I also was very excited to talk to you, which is about game development. For those who don't know, Hong Hao is passionate about developing games. He actually works in a company where he gets to create and develop games. He's actually run webinars about coding games, and there's a new webinar next week about it actually. And then I wanted to ask you the feeling of the process. How is it compared, for say, to developing a web application? How do you compare it with developing games? I mean, what did you take from it?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah, it's about comparing game development with with a web application development. I mean, what are your thoughts about it?
Well, first of all, the game development is fun because because you can play a game while you are working. It's very fun. And then for the game development, actually, we have a very large team. For example, in my team, we have like 70 members. Yeah, including the designers. The designers is not like the Topcoder designer. Our designer is like to design how the gameplay rule is, how should make the game fun. For the game, for the Topcoder designers in my team, we call them artists. Yeah, and then we are the programmers. So the designers will design and we will follow their gameplay rule and implement it. And our artists will also create the avatars, the 3D models, and finally we will connect them and combine them into a real game. So it's a very big teamwork. And then for game development, we have to like think about the client and the server interaction. They are not like the web application. We usually use like the RESTful APIs or GraphQL APIs. We usually use the remote RPC, or we call remote programming core. And is also based on not the HTTP level, is on the very lower side level like TCP or UDP. And we will very care about the latency. We need to make the gameplay very smooth. Even the network environment is not good. So we have many tricks to make it smooth. As well as we have to like how to render the 3D models on your phone or on your PC. So we have to know how the GPU works, how the graphics pipeline works. So that's very different from the web application development. For web application, we will just focus on the front end framework or HTML or something.
Yeah, it's a whole new world that Aladik would say, and from all of those segments that you mentioned, like designing for psychology, for making the game engaging, and artists and the networking. Which area do you normally are you normally involved when you are developing games?
Yeah, I'm mainly focused on the server side of game development. So I'm a programmer first.
Okay.
So yeah, so I will create a lot of server clusters and ensure all the gameplay runs well on the server, and also ensure the the game runs smooth on client side. Yeah, define the RPC like that.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I wonder if there have been many game development projects in Topcoder in the past.
Actually, I remember in the 2016, I won all the challenge of the project. It's John Hancock. Yeah, the client is John Hancock. I built a game for this client. Yeah, it's about the game engine is a Coco's creator. So last year, I hosted 2 webinars for Coco's creators.
That explains it.
At that time, yeah. Yeah, it was very interesting.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Glad to hear that we are trying all different type of projects in the platform. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, checking the time here, I think we're ready to jump to the Ask Me Anything section. So for a start, I'm going to share my screen with the questions that I receive through the Google form throughout the week. And I'm going to start with those. And after we finish with those, people who is here watching live, you can guys ask any questions you have. There is a Q&A section down below on Zoom that you can use to ask your questions. So for now, let me see if you can. Okay. You should now be able to see the screen right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here I go. The first question that we have for you is who has been your toughest opponent in a competition that you remember?
Wow, I remember many handles. They are, yeah, they are very tough. Yeah, they are very skillful. So the Sky.
Yeah, Lucas.
Yeah. Lucas, sometimes if he participated in the challenge, it's very hard for me to win the first placement.
Oh.
And then Zhang Li Wu.
Yeah, Zhang Li.
Yeah, he's a very skillful Chinese developer. And then Sergey Butterfrero.
Sergey, our doctor, forgot him.
Yeah, they are all very skillful. And luckily, I didn't participate. I didn't participate challenges for a long time because I was quite busy on my Copilot stuff.
Oh yeah. Hey, and aside questions, I'm gonna steal the thunder of the person who asked this one a little bit. When you see that, and you know that there is this kind of myth or practice, I don't know how to call it, but when you see that someone tough is competing, does it make you kind of decide on your strategy to go take another challenge because you know that this person is so good at this technology that you may lose? I mean, does it affect your decisions?
No, actually, I love to participate in challenge, but because I really don't have that time. But actually, I'm more like to manage I'm more like to management on the management. So a Copilot is very attractive. It's also very attractive because you can see how the project goes from very top level, not just from the challenge level, not just focus on the challenge requirement. You should, like drive the entire project to success. So I think it's more attractive and more good. It's more challenging. It's also more challenging actually.
Yeah, definitely. I get your point. Well, the next question we have is what tools do you use? Well, this is from the past when you used to compete. What tools normally? This may be related to the setup that you have, maybe the coding tools.
I think it depends. For now, I like the Visual Studio Code. I think is the best code text editor I ever used. So for now is the Visual Studio Code, but for the competition, it depends on the technology stack. For example, for the C++, I might use the Linux or GCC or G++, or Visual Studio if I have to run it on the Windows, or for the front end development. Earlier, I might use the WebCharm. For now, I use the Visual Studio Code. So it depends on the technology stack.
Oh yeah, Visual Studio Code is the best. It's amazing, super flexible, lightweight.
Yeah.
Okay. Our next question. I'm from China too. Is it worth dedicating full time to Topcoder to make a living? Wow, this is personal, but if you want to take a stake on it, go ahead.
I think it's dedicated, but it depends on which kind of city you are living. For example, you are living the first level, first level cities like Beijing or Shanghai, because the living cost is much high. And so you have to work very hard and to make to make a living, to work full time on Topcoder. But if you live in some small cities and the living cost is not very high, I think it's very good, because for Topcoder, no matter where you live, you can work on it. Mm-hmm. So all the stuff are the remote work. Also, you have to, but one demerit is to work full time on Topcoder is that you have to care about yourself, social benefits. If you are employees, if you are employee of a company, the company will take care about your social benefits. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but on Topcoder, you have to take care about it by yourself.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a topic for. It has so many components and variables to consider, like healthcare, like your dreams, your passions, how much you want to learn, how much are you expected to earn on this kind of. It's a complex topic. I understand. Yeah. Another one. How do you improve your coding skills? I think we kind of covered a little bit, but if you want to add something else, how to improve your coding skills in general?
Well, yeah, I think general, learn from your failure. And actually, I think it's very good to improve your skill by practicing. So participating in the Topcoder challenge is a very good practice. So don't just look for the prize money. The prize money is good, but don't just look for it. And participate the challenges, especially for some challenges you might don't have that skills at that time, but it's very good and it's very worthy to participate in it. Also, for now on Topcoder, we have some learning challenges. So it's a very good opportunity to participate in such learning challenges to learn new skills. So I think the practice is the best way to learn for improve your skills and learn. And especially you can learn from the other developer submissions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely learning by doing, and there are a lot of opportunities right now in the platform for learning, and also maybe you're lucky enough you can make some cash in the learning process as your own experience, as you were saying, that you were taking second, you were learning in the platform and you were taking second places, and it was super an extra benefit, a motivation for your learning journey. You were just learning, and there came this prize on the side that it also help you keep you with more motivation, right?
Yeah, trust me, if your skill is good enough, you must win cash prize.
Yeah. Okay. I think this is the last one from the slides. What is the project you feel most proud of working with Topcoder? What did you do there?
Well, actually, there are a lot of projects because I co-piloted a lot of projects for now till now, and one of the project is for T-Mobile, is for their internal use to like to formalize the Angular components with a design and do like a storybook. So there are designers and front-end Angular developers can open the website and see the style guides. So these are a digital style guide app. What I was doing here, firstly, the client suggested a framework, but after my investigation, I found the framework was not that suited on their requirements. Then I look into the material Angular IO. If you are an Angular developer, you must know this website. But I think our requirement was very similar to this website. So
Okay.
I think, yeah, we can do the development based on the source code of this website. Yeah, luckily the source code was open source. It's open
Okay.
source. So yeah, so I make the client I persuaded the client to follow my suggestion, and then and then we started development based on the source code of Material Angular IO. And finally, the project was very successful. And now we have delivered it to the T-Mobile, and T-Mobile has a team to maintain it. So I'm very proud of this project because, yeah, I use my own knowledge and choose the right direction, not just follow the client's suggestion.
Yeah, wow, I mean, it sounds, because it sounds complex. And you had a participation directly in the strategy of how to solve the problem. Like this kind of sparks of solutions that that you get to come with those when you're working together with the client, with the collaboration. And I guess I think it's pretty much in line with what you mentioned earlier about really liking to work with the management side of the projects, where you get to this responsibility of helping directly with the ideas and the core solutions. Yeah, it sounds very exciting, and it's T-Mobile. I mean, it sounds like a pretty awesome project, man. Yeah. Okay. Now it's time to check the questions that we have here in the live session. I'm going to check the Q&A panel. We have a few questions in here. Let me grab those for you. Okay, we have a good question here, and he or she says, what is your motivation for multitasking? I believe there are times you feel overwhelmed. How about that?
Well, yeah. Sometimes I do feel overwhelmed, but at that time, we have weekends, so I will tell me the PM for on weekend. Usually, I don't need to do anything for my day job, but for Topcoder, I may be on some stack on some task, but maybe I will tell the PM that I will be off for one day or one half day to relax. But the motivation is first, yeah, I enjoy this lifestyle actually.
Okay.
Yeah, because on my day job, I focus on the game development, but on Topcoder, I can access various of different types of projects, not just I mean, a few of them, very few of them are on the game development, but most of them are on other areas. And I think it's a very good window for me to know, yeah, how the other requirements, how the other industrial requirement is, and how to drive this kind of projects to success. Is very, yeah, it's very enthusiastic. It gets me very excited. And the second one is also, yeah, I got very good income from Topcoder. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, money is also very good motivation.
Yeah. From early types in history, it's nothing new. That's why I think we can say that. Yeah, we can say that you just feel excited about the variety of projects that you get to work on. Yeah, I get. I mean, when you talk about it, I feel identified as well with this opportunity we have to work with many industries like education, healthcare, you name it, technology gadgets. There's a wide variety of things that you cannot imagine you get to work. In just 1 month, you can be working for NASA, Harvard, and then T-Mobile. It's like three different areas, and I think it would be very hard to to find one job that allows you to do that in one month, to have this amazing knowledge. Okay, I'm going to ask. There are two more questions, and the next one is, what do you do at your free time when you're not multitasking? That's a good one. That's a good one.
Well, actually, I don't have much free time, to be honest. Yeah, usually every day I will work like 12 to 14 hours per day,
Sorry,
and
how many?
12 to 14 hours per
Okay,
day.
okay.
So the rest of time I have to sleep. So
Sleep.
that's
Yeah.
my usual Monday to Friday. And on the weekends, yeah, I may, if I'm free, I will go outside and to meet some of my friends, like for hiking or jogging or watch movie or something. Yes, for some leisure time.
Oh yeah. Well, if I may be a little bit incisive here, which was the last movie you watched?
Sorry.
Which is the last movie that you watched?
So sorry, I don't get you. Which was
Yeah,
the
no,
last one?
you mentioned that sometimes you were like just hanging out with your friends or watching a movie, and I just asking, I mean, what is the last movie that
Last
you watched?
movie? Oh,
Yeah.
well, is a Chinese movie. I'm not sure how to tell it, translate this in English.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have to try. Yeah, it's okay, no problem.
Okay.
And
Yes.
then,
The name in Chinese called 你好李焕英. That's it. But it is a movie to is a director for memorize his passed away mother. So
okay.
yeah, he directed this movie.
Oh. Well, I'll look it up. I'm curious about this stuff. Believe me that I will look it up, and then I'll give you my opinion. Yeah, another question is, What advice would you give to someone who is not doing really well in challenges, but keep on participating?
Uh,
For someone, I mean, advice for
you
someone
mean advice?
who's not doing really well in challenges.
Mhm. Well, yeah, I think we discussed it before, because yeah, for the first of time, you might doing not very well, but you can learn from your failure. I think if you just think you improved a bit for each challenge, and finally you will reach to the top.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, that should help. Yeah, we have two more questions. One
Yeah.
of them is, what problem-solving book have you read or you're reading? And I guess if you are reading or have you ever read a problem-solving book? It's a particular question.
Well, I'm not sure if if which book should be the problem solving book.
Yeah.
Yeah, uh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure which book should we call a problem solving
Problem.
book.
Yeah, problem-solving. I know.
Well, maybe I didn't read some specific book for problem solving, but I think we can focus on the fundamental of the skills. For example, or
Yeah.
if you want to learn Angular or some front end development, it's better. In the beginning level, you may just write some component, write some simple apps in the framework, Angular framework. But then, if you have time, you can dive into it, dive the source code, or dive the framework, or read something like Angular in depth to know how the Angular works, how the Angular was built. And then if you know the fundamental knowledge of the skill, I think you can master it very well. And once you met some very tough issues, and you can dive into it very quickly and solve the problem. So I'm not sure if there are some general problem solving books, but I think it's a very good way to solve the problem if you know the knowledge behind the skill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, I get your point. And I will also collect from you those books that you have read to as a way of suggestion for people who wants to know more about which books to read. And we have our very last question.
Mhm.
It says, in talking to newbies at Topcoder, do you think they will get discouraged to get active with Topcoder when you're working so many hours? And how come members make the most of any time they may have? That's a good one.
Well, yeah, I think I'm not typical top code because I didn't choose to be a freelancer because yeah, I also love my day job. But yeah, I think on Topcoder you don't be like me because I have two jobs, so I have to work so many hours. But if you only work on Topcoder, I think it's very flexible. I remember back in the 2016 or earlier, I didn't work so many hours like this because now I'm a co-pilot. So I have the responsibility to drive the project success. So I have to work on so many hours, but also I enjoy it. But if you just participate in the challenges, I think maybe for 1 week, you just spend 10 or 20 hours per week. And it might be good enough to finish a challenge.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean your case is kind of particular because it's that you have a full-time job and also you love so much the learning experience that you keep putting in hours. So it's a particular case.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Well, we have two last questions from Penty. One of these was already, we already discussed about this one. But the last two ones, one is, what is your educational background?
Yeah, I got my PhD degree from Zhejiang University in 2015. So I have a PhD degree. Yeah, but my PhD degree is not in computer science, it's the electrical engineering, mainly on the aerospace. So for my PhD degree, I built satellites. Yeah, and I even climbed. I even have the experience of climbing the rocket.
Oh man, that is awesome. You must have a certain knowledge with assembly code, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
That is awesome. And our last and final question is, when and how did you get started with programming?
Well, it's very early. It's in 2004 when I was still in high school. Yeah.
You were in high school by then, right?
Yeah, my first programming language was Pascal.
Pascal. Wow, that's hardcore.
It's very good. Yeah, it's very old-fashioned programming language. I think very few of them are now using it. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, Pascal is hardcore. Okay.
Yeah,
that's good. That's great. And I think right now your top favorite language would be C++, right?
Yes. Actually, in my day job, for building the game engine, use the C++. But for writing the gameplay rule, we have the script language is Python.
Okay.
So
Python is awesome.
Game. Yes. And then we also use C# for some Unity apps. Yeah. And also TypeScript for the CocoaScript apps.
Oh yeah. Wow.
So, yeah, all the game engine language. So if you are interested in the game development, I think it's very easier for you because these programming languages are very common.
Yeah, I think I will shoot some questions for you in private about game development because I want to do something and maybe you can help me out.
Yeah, sure. Welcome.
Perfect. Well, I think unfortunately we reached the end of this awesome interview with our incredible guest today. And those were all the questions we had. They were very good questions, guys. Thank you for posting them and sharing your thoughts with Hong Hao. It's been a very educational session. And as always, very grateful for your time. Thank you for being here. And if Hong Hao, if you have anything to say goodbye, this is your time to shine. All yours.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you for coming, guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is fantastic. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you on the next AMA coming up in a few weeks. So check the calendar. See ya.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.